at the skulls.
What up? Welcome back once again to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now, today we will take a look at the Guardian. Now, this character is not really known a lot. I have seen him like on Young Justice, some other animated stuff, but relative to the comics, he's pretty much a kind of obscure character. In fact, I was really surprised to see him on the pegs when I saw him. Now, right away, I looked up if there was an alternate version. You know how McFarlane likes to do the different colors and the different variations, but surprisingly, this is the only one that they produce, so that's rather interesting. Now, he is a cool character to add to the collection to fill out your whole DC universe, but he is a character that a lot of people are not going to really know who it is. Now, besides him, I have found a couple of stuff out in the wild, so I'll be doing some kind of mix match reviews here pretty soon because everything's going to get a little bit discombobulated, but I'll try and put out more content to get a little bit, back into the swing of things since we're starting off a new year. I may end up doing a top 10. I'll probably release that on the 10th of January, so that'll be something to look forward to. But anyways, now he does look pretty protective in the packaging, but let's take a closer look at this guy. But first, he does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. The only difference being this one does have that white bullet DC emblem. He also comes with his data file card. On the front, you have a pretty sweet image of the Guardian. Now, I'm not too sure on the background. I think has a lot to do with like cloning and being a clone. I think the original one was like Harper in World War II, and then he became a policeman. And I'm not sure, but you could check out on the back and check out his data file. So pretty cool. We will add this to the collection. Now he only comes with one accessory, which pretty much blows because you do get this pretty cool shield. It has a way to grasp onto it on the back here, but he did not get any alternate hands. And I think the bad part about that is that we don't have any alternate hands that have the same color. It's like a kind of almost transparent plastic. So it's hard to match that with paint. Pretty much this guy's going to be a simple use, holding his shield and posing. So yeah, not too excited about that, but that's cool. Now, another thing is some of the decisions they made I'm not too happy about, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Guardian. I think right off the bat, the first thing, he looks pretty cool. He has a cool, simple, yet striking design. I really love his helmet, but I really think they used the wrong body. Now, that has to do a lot with the boots and the way they have already made figures that have this body type, but they went with the textured costume, of course, that we saw on the Green Lanterns, amongst other figures. I just really wish they would have went more with this body, which has also been used a lot of times, but has a more cleaner look and doesn't have that texture. Now, of course, McFarlane, you can always say he had to add a little bit of texture to add some spice to the figure, but just sometimes you don't know what they're thinking about there at McFarlane Toys. Like I said, pretty cool uniform. They hit it on that mark. Just the texture kind of turns me off a little bit. Taking a closer look at the helmet. Now this they did nail. It looks awesome. Really crisp helmet and the way it fits on the head. Looks straight out of the comics. So I'm really happy with the helmet and the way they did the head sculpt. Another thing I'm happy with is he does have really good articulation straight out of the box. He does look down. He does look up really well. You got right to left. And of course, you could tilt his head for some attitude. So No need to warm them up or anything. I'm sure if you did warm them up and add a little bit of the mods, you could get a lot more range. But for all intents and purposes, this is pretty good. Going down into the costume, really nice. Now, here's another thing they didn't do that I thought was bad. They didn't add the paint on the shoulder ring bushing, which gives it a lot cleaner to look and doesn't have that separation. I did do that. I'll show that later on. But you got the nice shoulder with the socket and bushing joint. You got up and down, front to back, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Not too bad. Straighten them out. You got the wrist. We got 4 ways of articulation per usual with most McFarlane figures. So that's all the same as a lot of older figures. Get them in a T pose pretty simply. Look at the waist. You got side to side, the full tilt-a-whirl range of motion, so you could twist them, get them in a lot of cool poses. Not too much crunch there, but still pretty good for a basic action figure. You got a little bit of thigh swivel there where you can move the leg, and this allows you to move the boot from side to side without having a thigh cut. Double jointed knees, straighten them out, up and down at the ankle, left to right, and rocker, and of course, toe articulation. So, all in all, I mean, the color scheme's right. I still do not like the texture part of the figure, but that's fine. Take a look at him from the bottom. No tread, but he does have some identifying marks moving up the back. Nice musculature, nice back. We have seen this body before, so it is what it is. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm happy with it. There's little things that I would change, but I mean, not too much. You can add his shield. Like I said, you just that one hand that we didn't get an alternate hand. You grip the shield in there, and then he can, hold his shield. So um, pretty basic, good figure. Not nothing I'm going to jump up and down about, but it is nice. Now, of course, I have the original DC Universe Classics version. In fact, I have 3 versions because I did some custom work back in the day. Now, you have the original yellow and blue, and that's why I was wondering if this was an alternate label one, that red platinum label. But no, if you look it up, this is the only version of him that looks to be released. Now, another thing about the DC Universe Classics is I wanted to kind of get the look more of the bronze helmet with this Guardian figure, so I went ahead and did that. And looking, later on, looking into the comics and stuff, surprisingly, I wanted to match up the costume more with what McFarlane did, which was this is my 3rd alternate version of the Guardian, more of a bronze look with that added detail to the costume, the yellow pointing down details that are in the newer comics. Now, another thing I did to that one a long time ago is I painted his eyes white because in a lot of the comics, even on the data file card, you could see how he has his eyes whited out. Now, I didn't do the whole thing, but it still looks pretty cool even to this day. And of course, that's one of the things I wanted to change on the new McFarlane one. Now, something cool about DC Classics that I always say is keep your accessories because a lot of times you can port them onto the DC Multiverse McFarlane figures. So if you want to use these older shields with him, they are made different. They have straps in the back to slide onto the forearm. And I did that as well. But I did make some changes as I talked about the white eyes. I whited out his eyes as well. And even if it's just the eyes, it's not the whole, inside of the helmet and all that. It really changes the whole attitude of him. Like it's hard to explain, but just having out those just having those whited out eyes gives him a whole new feel and depth and gives him a little bit of a mysterious, unearthly feeling, which I'm always a big fan of. Now, another thing I did is I painted the bushing shoulder joint so you could have that little, added continuity of the paint, where it doesn't have that separation. And, it's just a blue. You match it up, paint it on there, works pretty good. So little details that I changed. But like I said, not something spectacular, but I am happy to add this Guardian to the collection. So, anyways, guys, cool. We got another, out there character to add to the collection. And I'm always looking forward to that. Got some more stuff on the way. You guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.